tent and the bike are there. I'm not sure, I think it's gonna rain soon, but I'll use the time I have as I cook, well, as I prepare myself some dinner, to explain today, because I didn't really get much on video, mainly because something shitty, quite shitty actually, happened, and it's not the first time that it happened, so that makes it even worse. Anyway, let's start with the good things. At some point today, as I was cycling, it kind of hit me that I had made it to Guatemala. I think yesterday I was so stressed with the border crossing and so on that I didn't see that as what it actually is. Like, I have made it to Guatemala, a new country. I've cycled through Mexico. There's just so much to celebrate. So of course, first things first, in the morning I got quite emotional about that. Then I got my SIM card for Guatemala, and then I started cycling what I thought was going to be a really, really hard day, but it was so beautiful, and I was so excited that it actually wasn't even that bad. I really saw a difference between how I was perceived in Mexico and like how many people were waving and so on as I was cycling, and here, I mean, I was waved by so many people. People asked me, some guys actually stopped me to give me a Gatorade, and we like chatted for a bit. It was really cool. But then the bad thing happened, and as I was interrupted, let's use this time to first show you how beautiful today was. Okay, as I was going to explain the bad thing that happened to me, the owner of the campground came and we chatted as I ate dinner, which was actually super cool. He knows so much about Guatemala and Mexico and even about Spain. I don't know, it was really, really interesting conversation. But back to what I was trying to say before, and bear with me because this makes me quite nervous to speak about these kind of things. I'd rather speak about positive things all the time, but I think it is important to speak about everything, the good and the bad. Anyway, and mind you, this is the third time that something like this happens to me, so that's why I'm more hurt by it. Anyway, I was cycling and I stopped by the side of the road just to drink some water and check the map, when I see that there's a man just playing with his parts on the side of the road, looking at me and actually hissing at me. So as I said, this is the third time that this happens to me. The first one, I didn't know what to do. It took me by surprise, so I just first insulted him and then got super scared and realized that I was in a bike, he was in a car, and he could really like harm me further. So I just cycled away and hoped nothing else would happen, and then cried for a while. The second time just made me super sad because I realized that this is probably something that is going to happen like every so often, and I started wondering how many more times will this happen before I make it to Patagonia, which shouldn't be something to be collected. Like, women should not be worried about how many men will do this to them. Anyway, and today it just made me so angry because I was so happy and just, you know, like waving at people and talking to people. For some reason I was brave enough and bold enough to, you know, get my phone and start recording him, and I thought that would make him stop. Turns out he couldn't care less. He actually continued until he was done, which is fucking disgusting. And again, I hate talking about these kind of things, but I do think it's important. Every time I tell this story to a woman, most of them tell me same thing happened to me in this country, in that country. So like, it's not even a matter of like where this has happened to me. It happens everywhere, and it happens all the time. And I'm usually quite proud when people ask me, oh wow, like you're cycling from Vancouver to Patagonia as a woman all by yourself, how do you do this? And I'm quite proud usually to answer saying just as any man would, you know, but it's not true. Whatever a man has to do to cycle from Vancouver to Patagonia in terms of physical condition and mental strength and planning and so on, women have to do, plus there with the fact that they're women, so things like this will happen every so often. And yeah, I thought I was calmer. Turns out it still shakes me. And yeah, when is it gonna happen next? You know, it is very infuriating. And if anyone thinks me sharing is not right, or me recording is not right, I'd love to know what you would have done. I'd love to know if you have a better answer to this, or a better response, or what do you think I should do? Not travel, or like travel with a chaperone, like a man that comes with me, so those things won't happen. I've even blamed myself for having like 2 braids, because maybe that is seen as sexy to some people. Like, should I shave my head, or what is it? Like, what is the response to this? Anyway, I'm gonna take a breather, and then we're gonna say the 5 things that I'm grateful for today, because this is not what I want to be thinking about before going to bed. Okay, so number 1, I'm in a new country. I'm so excited to see everything that Guatemala has to offer, and yeah, I'm very grateful for that. 2, today's scenery was, I think, maybe one of the best days of cycling in terms of scenery since I started my trip. Like, wow, I was saying about Chiapas, and that still remains, but today's scenery was just insane. Green, blue, and white, as vivid and as beautiful as ever. Just perfect. 3, I really thought today was going to be really hard in terms of elevation, but the climbing was okay in the end. So it was almost 2,000 meters of climbing, but it wasn't too steep at any point. It was just like quite gradual, which was amazing. And also the temperature was perfect, not too hot, not too cold, just perfect. 4, apart from the Batman, I've talked to so many people today. The guy here at the campground, the ones who gave me the Gatorade, and like plenty of people. I think I've never been waved at so much. Like, well, in Asia, when I was cycling in Asia, that happened to me a lot. But honestly, today was waving hello and asking questions. That was really, really cool. And 5, yeah, the fact that even though I'm in a big city, Huehuetenango, I found this campground that is just like nature in the middle of a city. And yeah, it's gonna be calm and quiet, only crickets. There's kind of like some people having dinner, but they're gonna leave, and it's gonna be all to myself. So that's it. Let's end the night and the day in a positive tone. And yeah, I'll see my sister in 2 days, so I'm so excited. Anyway, good night. think it's time to accept that I won't make it to Ciudad de Guatemala. So I'm gonna try to see if someone's gonna give me a ride, me and my bike a ride. I don't need to get there until tomorrow. That's when my sister gets there. But yeah, somewhere closer. So I'm trying to think, where should I go? Where should I ask people to take me? I'm doubting between Lago Atitlan, because why not? Camping in a beautiful place. I'm probably gonna be doing more like hostels in the next 2 weeks, so I really would like to camp tonight. And if I make it to a bigger city, that means probably a hostel or something. Anyway, when you're hitchhiking, you cannot really choose, so okay, so before I start reading and just call it a day, let's do the 5 things for today as quickly as possible. 1, I had Wi-Fi this morning, so I could call my parents and spend some time talking to them. That was really, really cool. 2, people were super nice. Again, like waving at me, saying hi, asking questions, just makes my cycling a lot more entertaining. 3, the temperature. After spending like some days in the coast of Oaxaca and really getting to hate the heat, this temperature here is just perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, just perfect. 4, yeah, finding someone who gave me a ride all the way to Lake Atitlan, just amazing. And 5, being able to camp here, which is supposed to be the most beautiful lake in the world. Not me saying it, it is supposed to be that. Someone said that. Importantly, I'll see my sister, I cannot believe that, in 24 hours. I'm so excited. I don't think I'll sleep well tonight because I'm just so excited. I keep imagining her here and us together doing things. Anyway, let's stop this. Let's go read and try to think about other things. 24 hours. Okay, so everything's packed up, just having a coffee. Huge moon, pink sky. I'll see my sister tonight. It's gonna be a long day, but it's gonna be a wonderful one. I'm so excited. in Guatemala, people have been warning me not to cycle on lonely roads, como carreteras solas, which are usually the kind of roads I look for to avoid cars, but apparently that's where you get robbed. So I am now, I think, in theory, in a carretera sola, but I've seen some cars, so I don't know. No te va a gustar, no tienes pinta de perro de manzanas. These windy roads are so sketchy because there's no shoulder and people drive super fast. So I'm always kind of like sticking my arm out, listening to cars. And if I can, I just get out of the road. Like now. Aquesta és l'energia que necessitava. A veure, fes la volta, que ensenya'ns la motxilla. Fantàstic.